welcome back to the MotorFab YouTube channel. Hope you guys have been enjoying it. Thank you everyone who's contacted me or commented, shared, liked. Wow, absolutely blown away by the response so far in the really early days of this thing. We're growing like crazy. I'm stoked. I'm blown away. I'm humbled. Thank you very much for everyone that's contacted me or commented or liked or shared or subscribed. I really do appreciate it. Good to see so many people getting behind something that's a little different. Today's episode, transmission tunnel, we didn't cover that too much in detail. It's something that's got to be done. A little bit of helpful info there for some people. And the diff, there's a bit of info in there about the diff that we're running and the story behind that. I'll leave that for later, you'll see. Also, I've got a shout out to Chris Webb from Chopped Art. You'll notice the channel's looking a little bit more professional. A few logos happening, a little bit of fancy work on the intro. Chris is responsible for all that now. He contacted me and said he absolutely loves the channel and loves what I'm doing, and he wanted to get involved. And Chris has worked with us for a while now. He does the artwork for us for the Aussie Rivals Day and a bit of stuff on the MotorFab design as well, which he's about to do a whole lot more. Coming at you, Chris. He's also responsible for the original image that image painted on the wall is graffitied from. Chris's work's phenomenal. If you ever need your shirts made or you want stuff with especially car related artwork made, the work he does is absolutely phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it. Event banners and flyers and logos and shirts. Contact Chris. I'll put a link in. I'm going to put it right there. That's going to be the link. So, yeah, shout out to Chris. Thank you so much, buddy. Love your work. Also, while we're on the wall, the wall was the graffiti or street art, as I like to call it, was done by Nathan Welsh and Josh M. I think Josh M's a bit of a fan of the channel. And thanks for watching, Josh. I appreciate it, mate. And their work, that's actually his tag in the back corner there. And their work is phenomenal as well. Amazing with the spray cans, and they're really transformed our shop here and made it look something special. It's great. I love it. Always wanted a graffiti wall in my workshop, and finally I've got one. So enjoy today's episode. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See, look, he's trying to get out of it already.
I ain't talking.
See that? Look at him, sitting there, calling people out, talking shit. And as soon as the camera's on, he's going quiet.
Gibbo, get over here.
Gibbo, wasn't he calling everyone out?
He was, he had the boot up.
Yep. So, Steve-O, are you going to call out the Junkyard Monaro?
Like, I'm not speaking in this.
Too late, mate. It's on.
No, it's not. This ain't going live.
It is so.
I'm going home.
Well, skid while you leave then. Pop your bonnet, Steve-O, so you can have a look at your wagon. This is currently Australia's fastest white wall car, we believe. 1051 at 136, I think it went. On a 215 white wall tyre, MotorFab rear suspension. We'll pop the bottom. It is a Junkyard LS. The bottom end is still stock, but it looks a bit fancy under the bonnet, obviously. Here's the stick because you don't have bonnet springs, because that's where the dump pipes go. The sun's not in a favourable spot. So there you go. There it actually was a Wreckers motor, 5.7 LS, early one. 280,000 kilometers on it. I don't know what that is in miles for you American views, times 1.6 I think. We put Cometic head gaskets in it, ARP head studs, Moroso high volume oil pump, a single row timing chain, and comp cams, turbo cams, a little baby cam. It's got precision twin 62s on it. We did MotorFab intercooler, all the pipe work, everything like that. They're just Chinese manifolds that we modified. and did the wastegate pipes on. Chinese wastegates. You got twin 3.5, 3-inch exhaust, stainless steel, all the way to the back of the car. Power glide. We put nitrous big block converter we had laying around in it, which actually works really well. It is still column shift. We made a little shifter up for the column shift to suit the cable and stuff, and a little white wall tyre. Exhaust all the way to the back. And fuel system, trans cooler underneath. Full stainless exhaust. It made 570 at the wheels on the dyno at 10 psi, 10 degrees timing, and we've now got about 13 pounds in it, about 14 degrees. So it's probably making a bit more than that. Like I said, I went 1050 spinning the wheels quite a lot, especially in the top gear shift. We sort of got it to hook up off the start, just by ramping the power into it nicely, but it was really hard to get the thing to hook on the top gear shift. But we'll get there. And this little wreckers motor, we literally, I think Steve's changed the oil in it once, and it's hey Steve, how long has it been going for now? 12 months? 2 years? 2 years. One oil change.
I don't drive much.
Nah, but when you do, how do you drive it?
Slow.
Oh, yeah, right. So yeah, so he'll be at the Aussie Rivals Day this year to contest his white wall tyre class, and he wants to have a crack at the Junkyard Monaro. There you go, you'll see him plenty more of this car. You'll see us tuning it, setting it up. It's got full Haltech ECU. I tune it myself, and it's yeah, obviously being careful with the tune and doing a few little things that I do is what's kept that motor going strong for 2 years. Steve drives it really hard. I put a setup in it that he can just abuse it and not have to care about it, and it's lasted really well. He had a nitrous big block, a 598 Shafroth engine before, and a little Tirana, and he was forever blowing the thing up. But yeah, so when I set this car up for him, I set it up to be pretty bulletproof, and it really is. It's a good thing. Stay tuned. If you've ever tried to put a turbo 400 in one of these cars, you'll know that they don't fit. Basically because you've got this bulkhead at the back of the gearbox here, which we've cut this piece out. Sorry, I didn't film this process right through. Sort of pushed a little bit for time. So normally this goes in here, and the gearbox, the back of the gearbox extension housing hits on it. So this, it is a structural member of the car. So I've seen some really terrible jobs over the years, so it's really hard to focus under the thing. So that's what we've done there. This is all 3mm steel instead of just sheet metal, because of the fact that it's a structural member. It's got to be replaced with something pretty substantial. So I've just gone through and made that section up with 3mm steel. Now, while I'm at it, I've recessed these as well, because so the exhaust has got somewhere to go. The gearbox is quite thin through here. It's just up in the corner there, the back of the extension housing hits. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. It's time consuming, but it's got to be done. Then that way this car can always have a turbo 400, 700, or I'm not too sure if a 4L80 fits. I'll never put one in, but possibly. The rest of the tunnel's pretty good. You can see the this car is actually really good. The floor hasn't had a single repair, so I've just done the first one with that. Unfortunately, someone stuck the jack or something under there, or hit a stump or something over time, back in the day maybe. But yeah, you can see there's that zero rust in the floor anywhere on the old social distancing Monaro. So, but no, that's done now. We can put the turbo 400, because that's the gearbox that we're going to run in there. We can put the turbo 400 in. They will fit a power glide, obviously, but not for even a 350 rubs on that brace. So what we've done there is going to help that out and make everything clear. Never in a million years could I duplicate this. I just flicked the tungsten at the bench, and unintentionally. And would you look at that? It's actually stabbed into the aluminium on the bench. Must have been very sharp. How cool is that? Let's talk about diffs. I'm going to cop a hell of a lot of criticism here because I've been telling people for years, don't build a borgwarner, don't waste money on them, just put a 9-inch in, poor man pays twice. The 9-inch is a superior diff. I'll show you in a minute why. But hey, I'm going to use a borgwarner in this one and it's probably going to break, and all the people over the years I've told don't waste your money on those diffs are going to laugh at me. But in saying that, there are people going really fast on borgwarner diffs. You know, I've seen 8s that can pass a stun on them. Obviously there's a few little tricks that you can do to make them stronger, which I'll go over a couple. And yeah, the 9-inch is the way to go. I understand that, but the budget also can escalate. We're trying to show you guys here what we can do on a really tight budget. So let's do it. Let's go through some of the differences between the 9-inch and the borgwarner. Here goes. Here's our cheap Commodore borgwarner. Okay, let's go real fast. Biggest difference, what will happen in this diff when it breaks? It will break the crown wheel and pinion the teeth off, one or the other or both. Reason being, this diff has, just like a 9-inch, they both have 2 pinion bearings, but this one has one up here in the front and one just a bit further back here. Where the crown wheel meshes with the pinion, the is behind the second bearing. So you've got 2 bearings close together, and then where the work is happening, where the pressure is out past the second bearing. On a 9-inch here, this is typically what we'd use in our cars normally. I've got them in my other cars. This is definitely the way to go. Strange carrier, strange yoke. Always spend your money on a good yoke. That is definitely a must. They will break. Back to the bearings, right? So on a 9-inch, you've got a pinion bearing in the pinion support up the front here, and then you've got another carrier bearing at the back here after where the gear meshes. So if you can imagine, you've got a pinion shaft running right through. The gear that drives this is on that shaft, but it is before the bearing. So you've got bearing, gear, bearing. So the shaft is supported at both ends. It's very hard for it to push away from the crown wheel because the bearing is at the back there and the gear is in the middle. On the borgwarner, 2 bearings at the front, nothing down the back. It's easy for that shaft to push away. Here I've got, this is a standard non-nodular. This is just a poverty pack 9-inch. You see it doesn't have the extra rib. The extra rib ones are stronger, and you know, everyone looks for the rib and buys the nodular ones because they are a lot beefier. This is one we use for the diff jig, the building diff. That's why it's got these bushings in it. So when a 9-inch breaks, generally for them to break the teeth, to push that pinion away from the crown wheel, these generally break this bearing section out of the casing because that bearing is behind where the gears mesh. So you can see these are really thin through here, and here is generally where they break. These strange aftermarket ones are a lot beefier through there. And your poor old borgwarner, you got nothing back there. So that's generally what'll break. A lot of times that happens because in the front here, they've got from the factory, they've got a crush washer. So to make them mass producible, when you're doing everything up, setting up the gear mesh, you tighten the pinion bolt up a bit until it crushes this washer, and you check it, and you crush the washer a bit more and you check it, and then you try not to crush it too far, and when it's crushed the right amount, it's done. But with a bit of power, you can crush that washer plus bearing wear, and then you can get a bad clearance on that gear mesh, which is what will break it. So excuse me, for this one we're going to put a solid crush washer in there, which hopefully going to make it a lot stronger, new bearings and a mini spool, and hopefully that's going to be enough to make it live. Obviously we're going to cut all the Commodore brackets off it and put some leaf spring hangers and Motorfab rear suspension kit, and that will do it. We'll shorten it down if need be, which I think it will, and yeah, we'll see how fast we can go before we break that borgwarner. So in the next couple of weeks, you'll see that get all stripped down, set up for the leaf springs, and see it go in the car. So stay tuned. Thanks again for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you all next week.